Are you having fun in your business? I mean, it should be fun, right? Well, sometimes the fun gets overlooked when you're dealing with the have-tos, the complexities of being your own boss and actually running the show. It's my goal that this, the Fun Business, Fun Money podcast, can help reignite your spark of fun by providing tips, tools, insights, and inspiration so you can enjoy running your business in the simplest, easiest, most fun way possible. I'll be sharing practical tips and ideas that you can implement immediately, along with business and money mindset insights to keep you moving forward no matter what's going on around you. I'm your host, Deirdre Amies, the Fun Business and Money Coach and founder of Powered by Personality. Let's play. Hey there, and welcome to the Fun Business, Fun Money podcast. Let's just take a moment. Here we are in the last week of August 2023 already. Can you believe it? I feel like I started this podcast just the other day. The first episode actually went out 8 months ago. Crazy stuff. Or is it longer? I don't know. It's been a long time. And now here we are at episode 71. If you've listened to all of the previous 70 episodes so far, I am sending you the biggest gratitude bomb ever. You're the reason I keep doing this every week. And if you're just tuning in for the first time, either because you randomly discovered it or someone suggested it, then a huge welcome and hello to you too. If you like what you hear, make sure you give it a follow so that you get the notifications when each new episode goes live. You don't want to miss the good stuff. I mean, that way, there's absolutely no excuse for not making time to maybe learn something new for your business and money. Today, we're going to flip the script on whatever excuses you've got about why you have or haven't done something yet, also known as reasons in air quotes, because somehow it sounds better when you have a solid reason rather than saying you're making an excuse. Let's just be honest, shall we, and call it what it is. No matter what you call it, it's procrastination. Now, I fully admit to being a master procrastinator at times. And if you want a really good laugh and some insights into how procrastination shows up, check out Tim Urban's awesome TED Talk it's called Inside the Mind of a Master Procrastinator. I'll link that one in the show notes. It's totally worth a watch. When we're procrastinating, we're making excuses to ourselves, to others, to the universe, as to why we can't do this thing that we said we were going to do, or why we can't achieve the thing we want. Because if we said what we really mean, it would sound more like, I'm not actually committed to having this thing I say that I want in my life. I'm just saying the words because they sound cool, so I can fit in with everyone else. Does that sound about right? Let's talk about how you can stop discounting your value and your contribution to the lives of others and actually own your value with the money you earn. It's not just about business or money either. It's really important to own your worth in your relationships, in every aspect of your life, as an equal partner or contributor. So when you ditch those excuses, the reasons, the non-committal statements, all of those things, you magically create some pretty life-changing boundaries that boost your cash flow and your self-respect, which is nice. I've got a little exercise I'm going to walk you through so you can just simply say, no more excuses, we are done. So if you can, grab a pen and paper and we can work through this as we go right here and now. If you're on the go, out driving, walking, shopping, doing housework, whatever it is, don't worry. All the info is in the transcript and the show notes, which you'll find linked in the description of this episode. Now, this little exercise has 7 thought-provoking questions. Yes, we're going to get a little bit pointy here. Before we get into those, though, a really good question that you might have is, how do I know when something is a valid reason versus an excuse? That is a really good question. And the biggest clue is in the words you use. We're talking things like, yeah, but, or I can't because, or if I do, then insert whatever it is, or I could if, and simply I don't know what else to do. All of those have one common theme. They transfer responsibility and empowerment away from you and onto another person, place, thing, whatever it is that follows those kind of statements. And here's a couple of quick examples that I jotted down. Yeah, but I have so many family commitments, I couldn't possibly spend more time on my business. I could take on more clients if I had a VA to handle some things and free up my time. I don't know what else to do. I've tried everything and nothing works for me. Now, if you take nothing else away from this episode, make it that. Take note of the words you use and see if you're putting responsibility on anything or anyone other than yourself. This doesn't make you a bad person in any way, shape, or form. It's simply an observation. But that excuse is probably stopping you from getting something that you say is important to you. I feel like such a school teacher right now, lecturing the kids. That's not my intention, but we do occasionally need a little bit of real talk, a dose of reality, all of that. So, here's the first of those 7 questions for you. The first question, what's the specific situation where you're making an excuse regarding money? It could be in your relationships or your career or your business or with money itself. They're kind of like sneaking around the side excuses rather than directly coming at money, but they're all related. And I mean specific. So if it's about your business, what exactly is the excuse you're making for yourself there? Do you have all the reasons in the world about not having enough time to reach out to people or to follow up with clients for reorders or whatever it is you do? Be specific. I can guarantee that you're not the only person in the world who has your excuse. And you'll get no judgment here from me, no matter what that excuse is, because it's valid for you right now. The second question, what if that excuse or reason were to disappear and you couldn't use it anymore? Ooh, boom, that's like a mic drop moment right there. Consider that bomb dropped. The excuse is now blown up, gone. Now what are you going to do? This is your moment to open yourself up to new opportunities, new possibilities to achieve that thing that you say you want. Now, if you need to hit pause and think this over, go right ahead. But that question again, what if that excuse or reason were to disappear and you couldn't use it anymore? Now what? Question number 3, hot off the back of question number 2, is what needs to be let go of? Because there's always something that you can let go of. I'm a big fan of decluttering. Whether it's worrying about what people will think of you, or self-doubt, or fear of success, that's a big one because, oh my goodness, what the hell would you do if you actually achieved your goal? Yikes, scary stuff, right? Question number 4. What are you valuing about yourself by letting go of this excuse? That's a deep one, but it's super important. Especially as women, we all too often undervalue ourselves. It's been trained into us that we're not as worthy, we're not as respected, we're not as important, depending on the situation. And I do mean trained over generations and centuries of conditioning as the weaker gender. Well, Not anymore. And most definitely not around me. I can get real fired up about the suppression of women and minorities. But honestly, no one does it better than Rachel Rodgers in her book, We Should All Be Millionaires. I'll link to that in the show notes. It is absolutely worth your time and attention. Question number 5. What is a new decision that you can make that supports you to achieve your goals? What's a new decision you can make that supports you to achieve your goals? Have a think about your big goals, because whatever the specific excuse that you've been holding on to, that's just one tiny aspect that's blocking all of that from actually happening. And I was speaking with someone recently about why she hasn't launched her new program that could create thousands of dollars of income for her. And it came down to a technology thing. She just didn't know how to work around it. And all it needed was a small investment with the right tech guru to make it happen in a flash. So simple. That's a decision that you can make now that blows away your excuse and gets you moving forward. Question number 6. What is an action that you can take that supports your new decision? I want you to be really specific about this action. Don't be fluffy. A general answer to start with is fine, but you need to be specific and break it down so you'll actually do it. You may end up with a series of small action steps, which is great, as long as it's an action that you know you'll take because you know it's easy. I want a virtual pinky promise here that you'll do that thing, whatever it is, in the next 24 hours, okay? And the last question, number 7, how will that action impact your relationships, your career or business, or money itself? This is about taking a big picture, like 30,000-foot view, not just that tiny focused perspective that the excuses held you in. And I include all 3 categories in that, the relationships, the career or business, and money, because the actions you take have a ripple effect across all areas of your life and your business and your money, everything. Let's say you're making excuses in your business because you're also working full-time and you're juggling family commitments. That was one of mine back in the day. It's really hard to achieve enough momentum to create the income you want in your business that will enable you to leave your career and to support your family. We know that, but it's a vicious cycle and something has to give, preferably with a solution that supports your business, your career, your family, everything. It may be that you need to bring in someone to help with things on the family front, on the home front. You may need to ask if you can work part-time or work remotely. There are plenty of options. Can you see how there's a different kind of energy around that original situation? Like, I can't do this thing because of all these things. And you can apply these 7 questions to any situation where you recognize that you're making excuses and holding yourself back. Here's a quick summary of those 7 questions. Number 1, what's the specific situation where you're making an excuse regarding money? Number 2, what if that excuse or reason were to disappear and you couldn't use it anymore? Number 3, what needs to be let go of? Number 4, what are you valuing about yourself by letting go of this excuse? Number 5, what's a new decision that you can make that supports you to achieve your goals? Number 6, what's an action that you can take that supports your new decision? And number 7, how will taking action impact your relationships, your career or business, or money itself? You can apply these 7 questions to any situation where you recognize that you're making excuses and holding yourself back. Those sabotaging behaviors have no place in creating the success that you want in life, especially when it comes to earning the money you want and the money you need. You're going to be able to open yourself up to so many more opportunities and possibilities when you stop holding on to those excuses and saying, yeah, but, and then break it down to those tiny actions that feel easy. Because then you can just go for it. And there's one final thing I want to share with you, which brings us back to having strong boundaries. Anytime we make a change like this, where we decide to stop making excuses and take new actions, it has a butterfly effect in all areas of your life. If you're someone who's easily influenced by the opinions of others, the people around you, they might be so used to you behaving in a certain way that they may not like it when you make those changes. If that's something that you experience as a result of all of this, a bit of backlash, just know that it's ultimately a good thing. Please don't give up at the first sign of resistance. If you do something consistently for long enough, eventually people realize this is the new, empowered, kick-ass you. Remember, this is your dream that you're bringing to life, not theirs. Now, if you'd like my help taking action without the excuses and building a solid foundation for your business in the simplest, easiest way possible, let's have a quick chat about Ignite, my business and money coaching program. I'm at Fun Business, Fun Money, all one word, on Facebook and Instagram, so send me a DM. Or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm the only Deirdre Amies in the world. Send me a DM there as well. Or you can send an email to hello@deirdreamies.com. You'll find the links to all of those in the show notes and in the description of this episode. So that's what I got for you today. Hopefully we've blown up at least one excuse that you've been holding on to. Then go back through this again and blow up some more. Take care, have fun blowing up your excuses, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks for joining me. If you found this episode useful, make sure you hit that follow button on your chosen podcast platform so you get the notifications when each new episode goes live and you don't miss anything. If you know someone who would also get something from it, don't be shy, share it with them. One of the best things about being a business coach for online entrepreneurs is helping them make sense of their creative ideas and turn them into a simple, clear business system that actually makes money. A client recently described me as a castle building expert. You've got the big vision and some of the building materials already, but you don't quite know how to bring it all together into a solid foundation. Then I come along and I show you the blueprint that makes sense of it all. I love that analogy. And I'd love to show you your personalized blueprint, the one that's just right for you and your clients. But I can't do that until you join Ignite, my business and money coaching program. So head on over to deirdreamies.com/ignite for all the details. Fill out the application form and let's talk about building your castle in the simplest, easiest way possible.